Russell, hello.
Hello.
Well, let's start with the news, first of all, from Eddie Howe that you're taking Ryan Fraser on loan. So, as a player we know well in the south, of course, having watched him at Bournemouth a lot of times. What's the thinking behind bringing him in?
Well, having known him from the South Coast, you know that he's a very good player. Competition for places, a bit of experience, nearly 200 Premier League games, has been promoted out of this division before. Someone I know well, having played with him and against him, but with him with Scotland. And he'll bring a lot on the pitch, but also mentality, wants to win, aggression in training, and he's desperate to prove a point. He's had quite a while of not playing football now, so I think he comes here desperate to play games and to really prove to people that there's a lot of football left in him and how good he can be, because he possesses a lot of talent, and it's a position where there's been a lot of noise around in recent weeks in a few of our players. So I think we add and also prepare ourselves in case we end up losing one as well.
He has got a bit to prove, because when a player gets training on his own away from the first team group, as has happened to him at Newcastle and Bournemouth, I think he will need to convince people that this isn't something about him as a personality trait. This is particular issues at particular clubs, rather than he's going to be a problem.
Yeah, well, I'm really fortunate I know him. So if I thought the character was questionable at any point, he just wouldn't be here. And I've said to you before, no matter how much talent you possess, then it's going to be all about character and what we're adding to the group. And he'll be totally fine fitting in this group. It's a really good group. He has an edge because he wants to win, but I think it's something we really need in the group. But he's a good lad. I spoke to Eddie at length about him, and despite whatever's gone on there and at Bournemouth, you know, Eddie spoke really, really highly of him. And I think if you ask Ryan about Eddie, he would say the same thing. Despite whatever's happened, has happened. So no, I think it has to go well for him and for us. And I'm convinced it will. Otherwise, we just wouldn't have brought him in. So he was someone we identified early on as a very good player. Jason, myself, a recruitment team, and we've kept monitoring his situation. And a lot of interest from this division. Most clubs, to be honest, and especially clubs that want to be up there and trying to fight and get promotion. So I think it's a really good signing for us. I only see it as a positive signing, really. And we have some really talented wingers, some really young ones. He comes with a lot of experience and a bit of age, and I think it will help us.
He's very direct as well, isn't he? I mean, if he's confident.
He's really brave with the ball. Yeah, he's really aggressive with the ball. Really aggressive without the ball. He's tenacious, and he possesses a lot of quality, real technical ability, and set pieces as well. So it will help us for sure.
Mason Holgate might also come under the category of a player who suffered from changing managers at his club. He was very highly rated as an under 21. And his career seems to have stalled a bit, but he's always been a good footballing centre back, I've thought. So I guess that's a trait you like in him.
Yeah, he's a great lad. So again, someone who's been desperate to be here, amidst other interest in the Premier League and the Championship and abroad. So we've been in touch for quite a while, and thankfully it looks like it's finally going to happen. So for one reason or not, we haven't been able to get him in yet, but he is very flexible positionally. Has played whole midfield. Right back, centre half. Will predominantly play centre half and right back here, I think. Really good footballer, really brilliant character, good age, good experience. Really wants to come here and show what he's capable of with the ball. I think it's been a lot of change at Everton over the years, but I think the time he's probably enjoyed the most was under a manager where he was really allowed to try and play and express himself, and hopefully he'll come here and do the same. So he's another one who has a huge amount of character training and voice and noise. Probably something we lack in the group a little bit currently. So I think it'll really help us, and a really talented player. So another one with 100 Premier League games and played at a big club, big expectation, and will come here and he'll settle in really well. So I hope we can get that one over the line, all being well, because it has been rumbling on for a while. And if he comes in, he'll add to the group brilliantly.
People will presume that either or both could be in because of players going out, but they obviously bring you Premier League experience and a lot of games under their belts anyway. So should we presume that it's because things are still moving behind the scenes, or just because you wanted them to add to the squad anyway?
Well, we've wanted to add them both for a while. It hasn't been able to happen for one reason or the other. Partly because they are Premier League players and the deals they're on, and their managers not wanting to lose them, or the club not wanting to lose them for different reasons. But I think they add to us. If no one walked out of the building, we're much stronger with them in it. And if people do go, it's because we're happy for them to go, I think. And then we'll have people in the building already, and we still might have to replace one or two if they leave. But we're trying to strengthen the squad. As I said to you last week, I really hope that I thought the squad would be stronger, and I think it will be with the addition of Ryan. I don't think Mason won't be done in time for this weekend, but when he gets done, he'll be a great addition. So, yeah, I think we're just trying to strengthen and enhance what we got, and they strengthen us on the pitch, but also off it. And I think that's really, really important. With the amount of young players we have, they'll help us.
It's been a great start to the season, despite all the churn and change going on off the pitch. QPR, people will see as a great opportunity to get a first home win, and we talked about that before the Norwich game. It didn't happen. You get your home form right, but half the season's going to take care of itself, isn't it? Yeah,
we played one game at home and we drew it. It was a good game against really good opposition. I don't think it's been a great start. I think it's been a good start. Despite everything that's going on, I don't think we could have asked for much more I think it'll be the hardest period we go through, I think, with everything that's going on off the pitch, and definitely the hardest window. We're just talking to Jason about it, and when you get relegated from the Premier League and you have the amount of assets we've had and the change of style and game model or philosophy, whatever you want to call it, is quite extreme. So when you add all that together, it's very difficult, and we're trying to navigate it in the best way possible. And I think Jason and the board are doing a really good job of that. We're trying to do as good a job as possible with that on the pitch, and the way we train, and the way we play, and the way we behave. So it's been a steady start. It's been good. We're unbeaten in the league. The Gillingham game, I said, but it didn't surprise me too much. Everything that's going on, and a lot of people playing in that game that probably futures are elsewhere. So it's been a good start, but we want to get that first home win as quickly as possible. No game in this league is easy, so we will certainly not be turning up tomorrow thinking it's going to be. It won't. Plymouth would have shown that. Norwich, even Sheffield Wednesday at times, we had to score late to win that. So it's going to be a good game. It's going to be an interesting game. I'm really excited to get back to St Mary's. The atmosphere against Norwich was incredible. I hope people are enjoying watching their team again and feeling connected to the team, and it's up to us to keep building that and do that by winning games and putting in good performances. The lads were trained brilliant this week, despite everything that's gone on. And I wasn't overly happy with the Plymouth game, and they knew that. But we won whilst building and not being overly happy with the performance. So I'm expecting a better performance than we had at Plymouth, and hopefully that'll mean we have a positive result as well.
What do you expect from QPR? They won well at Cardiff away from home. Watching the highlights against Ipswich, they might feel a bit aggrieved they didn't get something out of that game, and Gareth was very bullish after the match. What do you make of them as a side?
Yeah, so they're getting better game on game, I think. When you watch them, the way they've responded since the first game at Watford, even in the cup against Norwich, showed real fight and real grit and had some moments themselves. I think what you'd expect from Gaz, really, and his team is they're going to be fighting, they're going to be running really hard for him and for each other. They'll play to their strengths. They have some real threats at the top end of the pitch, which they will try to get the ball to quickly. It's up to us to take all that out of the equation, really, and try and be the team we want to be. I said that whoever we're going to play. But they are getting better and better. They look like they're building belief in what they're doing. And as I said, with knowing Gaz and what he expects from his players and his team, they'll come here and make it really, really difficult for us. So it's up to us to make sure we try and take control and take the game by the scruff of the neck as early and as quickly as we possibly can, and make sure we turn it into the game we want and not the game they want.
Flynn Downs, has he settled in, your reunion with him?
Yeah, he's been great, yeah. So he's been really good, as we expected, really, as a character. He's looked great in training. He's building back up slowly but surely after being unwell. Just a ridiculous story, really. But I'm happy, mate. Yeah, listen, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy doing the job we're doing. I'm really happy with the position we're in. But I said to you, I can't control anything else. I love the job I do. I love the people I'm doing it with.
It comes with having on board.
And he's another really good person, so he adds to that. And he's someone we have a brilliant relationship with before. But it's not about that. We wouldn't bring people in like Ryan. We wouldn't bring him in if we didn't think he could add, just because he's a good person or we like him and we trust him. we really think these players can add to us. And I think when we're trying to play the way we want to play as well, to understand the detail and have a year's experience of the work, or 2 years in Ryan's case, is really beneficial. So yeah, Flynn's been great, and the lads have taken to him quickly, as we knew he would. He's a fantastic character, one of the best I've worked with, and he's been good. It's nice to see him smiling. I think he's enjoying himself.
Just a final question, if I may. A lot's gone on at Everton this week. Their investors have pulled out. I keep wondering how your conversations with Shay are going, whether what's happened up there is altering, and the way they've started the season is giving him doubts about whether he wants to go anywhere. I know he's had a deal on the table here. So where is Shay? Because everyone's loving him starting the season so well, obviously, and doesn't want him to go. Will he be involved at the weekend?
Well, I think the conversation's ongoing, so it depends on the situation. It's really fluid, as you know. I think the one thing I'm 100% sure of is how good a character Shay is, and how good a professional he is. Really enjoyed working with him. Hope it can continue. We have offered him a new contract amidst all the chaos. So we have rejected a bid for him. We've rejected a couple from a couple of different clubs. One recently, one a couple of weeks ago, and we've offered him a new contract. So whilst there's not a bid on the table that meets the club's valuation, I think nothing will change. But it will be down to the situation and how Shay feels about it. But ideally, we'll have him in the squad tomorrow, have him in the team. And if he's not, it's probably because the situation's developed a little bit. I've said that to you all the way along. I've been really open about that. And again, we have to be really aware that something might happen in the next 24, 48 hours. I just don't know, but hopefully it won't. Fingers crossed. Hopefully he's really weighing up a contract offer from us. Because despite what's gone on previously, and players will feel certain things about what's gone on at the club in the last however long, and the players that have been here for a while. I think despite all of that that's gone on previously, hopefully they feel a bit different about what's going on now and what we're trying to build and all that. And hopefully that will help us to be able to tie a few of them down. If it doesn't, then obviously we'll have to go and replace Shay and other people. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I can't give you any. I'm not trying to blag you. It's really honest. We spoke this morning. We spoke last night, and I'm sure we'll speak again this afternoon at some point.
Okay, Alfie, 10:30.
Harris, you sort of spoke about how you're really enjoying the job, and I know there's been a lot going on the last week, a lot of transfer speculation and whatnot, but come off the back of another big win, 7 points from the first 9. How have the last 6 days been for you, your staff and the players? It seems like a really good atmosphere. I
think so, yeah. I think we're trying to generate a good atmosphere and create one. I feel like they're in a very different place to where they were 7-8 weeks ago. They're smiling a bit more. They work really hard. There's a balance to have to that. And I just want everyone to enjoy it, really, but be demanding as well. Like when we came in on Monday, I'm never going to be that manager that's really just sort of gets emotional with results and we won, everything's good, we're great. I think we'll learn a lot from when we win and we'll learn a lot from when we lose, and that's got to be the process. Like we analyse, we'll learn from it, and then we'll practice relentlessly, and then we'll go and perform, and then we'll repeat that over and over again. So I think by Monday, after the team meeting, and we analysed the game, I think they understand we have to be better than we were. They understand why I wasn't happy about certain things, and understand how important the process and the performance is to us, and the way we're going to train, the way we work, and all that stuff. And this week's been really good. I've been really impressed with them, the way they've reacted from that, and hopefully they understand now. It's not going to be we win, life's good, we lose. It's terrible and everyone's a bad person, all that stuff, and hopefully understand that it's going to be about the performance and how we work and how we train, and if you produce positive process and train well and consistently, then the performances and the results will end up looking after themselves, really.
I think Brentford reported during the week that there was a training match that Southampton won. I know it's only a minute's exercise, but did you get what you wanted out of that? And
yeah, I loved it. Yeah. I was really pleasantly surprised by it. So it ended up being a game. It was going to be a game for people that were coming in, but Flynn was ill. Mason wasn't done yet. Ryan wasn't done yet. But then it opens an opportunity for other people then to come in and play. And we had a lot of young players on the pitch against a really good Brentford team. I was so impressed. Yeah, so impressed that the team that we put out haven't been in or played many minutes in the way we were asking them to play currently, and very different to what they've been doing. that they could go and produce that level of performance. I was really proud of that. Really proud of that. I said to them after, we can't take that for granted. It was really brilliant. So many young players playing with so much courage, doing really brilliant things. Joe Aribo, really important minutes on the pitch for him. Sekou the same. Really impressed with both of them, the way they played. First time we've seen Dom really properly as well with us, because he hasn't been able to have much game time. Tyler and Sam, either side of him, were great. Armel, 45 minutes under the belt, so it was great, really positive. And then Breezy had his best game for us that since we've been here, so really good for him as well. So yeah, there's loads of positives to take from it. And we showed it. We analysed it the same way we would with the boys. We showed the other guys Wednesday, the guys that didn't go on Tuesday, they trained. So I think it's really important that everyone understands what we're expecting of them and has clarity. And there was some really brilliant stuff from that we took out a lot from it that will help us get ready for this weekend.
You mentioned Flynn Downs a moment ago, but no, I was playing that game unfortunately, but you've been really complimentary of Shay Charles since he's come in, and I think that Flynn and him could potentially play a similar position. Could you see both of them playing the same team together?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I think both are quite flexible, and Flynn can definitely play higher up, and I think Shay can as well. But I think Flynn will be here for a season, minimum. Hopefully, who knows what will happen beyond then. But he'll be here for a season, and by the end of that season, Shay Charles will be a much better player for Flynn Downs' presence. And it takes the pressure off a 19-year-old kid to come in and expect him to play every single week in such a pivotal position for us. So I think it's mutually beneficial for Flynn to come and play every week, or try to, and get back playing with a group of staff that really trust him and love him and respect him, and to help Shay as well, and to watch that and to come in when the time is right, like he did on Saturday, and he was excellent, and he's earned the opportunity to go again. So yeah, I think it'll be really great. They'll push each other, but there'll be a time as well when they're definitely playing in the same team for sure, because that's the nature of this league, and there'll be certain games that require that.
There's been a lot of rumours online today. You may not be able to reveal, may not want to reveal, but there's been rumours that Nathan Taylor and Shay Adams haven't trained with the group today. Are you able to offer any clarity on that?
Yeah, so we had 2 training groups today. So it depends which group you're asking, who they trained with, really. So yeah, I guess you'll find out tomorrow which group they were training in, which they weren't. But it's not we only train with 2 groups on a Friday to try and get information into everyone. It's the way we choose to work, because at some point the team might change, and at some point as a sub you're going to be needed to be on, so we try and go through tactically with both groups. So yeah, they've not trained or all that stuff, or been cast aside. They've trained with maybe a different group to the one people would expect them to train with. That's it.
And Kamaldeen Suleimano's pictured back in training this week as well, I think maybe for the first time since the summer. How has he been getting on?
Been great, yeah. Love his energy, Kamaldeen. He's really talented. I'm really excited to try and get him back on the pitch as quickly as we possibly can. We only saw him for literally 2 training sessions, and he got injured, and in one of them I nearly fell over when he was dribbling. He was that quick. Yeah, he's exciting talent, isn't he? And obviously I saw some games from last season, and really exciting player. He'll help us a lot if we can get him fit and keep him fit. Obviously there's another week to go, and hopefully we still have him here, but he's in a good place. I think he's worked really hard to get back. He's not ready to be in the squad tomorrow, but hopefully by next week we'll have him in the squad for the Sunderland game is the plan, all being well. And seeing what madness goes on for the next 7 days, yeah.
I was going to ask about it, but you mentioned sort of getting involved in training and playing. There's been loads of clips of you doing some pretty impressive stuff. Is that just because you miss your playing career?
That must have been photoshopped, yeah. Is it because I miss my playing career? No. So I don't miss it one bit. So I'm really done with that. But every now and again, if I can join in and help, I will. And also it gives me a nice, whilst I can do it, I will do it, because it gives you sometimes a nice feeling for the problems the players face. It gives you a feeling for which players give you the ball in a certain way where you need it, and understand the detail and why they do certain things. So yeah, whilst I can. Well, I joined in today, I've hurt my calf, so I think my body's slowly but surely telling me to give up. So Stewie Armstrong said, how much longer will you do it for? And I think he was subtly hinting that I should probably stop. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But whilst I can, I will. And it helps in certain bits. It's not just to feed my ego, just keep playing. I promise you that I'm well and truly done with that.